Hey there. So Facebook's ad monitoring little robots, we call them bots, they shoot first and they ask questions later when it comes to their compliance work on Facebook. And with healthcare ads, they are so sensitive that just using the wrong word in your new patient marketing ad can actually get the algorithm to actually ban your account, can actually just knock you right off Facebook and off you go, right? And I'm talking about your advertising account, your personal account. You have to really screw up to lose your personal account. So in this video, I'm going to give you some advice on how to not get your Facebook account banned because of something stupid you said in one of your ads, right? Okay, so my name is John Nisbet. I'm the founder of the Customer Factory, and I'm covering today something that came out of a little piece, a little excerpt that came from my book that I wrote called 16 Rules for Facebook Marketing Success for Chiropractors. Now, in all truth, it's not a full book. It's an executive summary made for busy practice owners who don't have time to read a whole book to know what are the basic rules on both sides of the road. Like how do you make sure your marketing, your new patient paid marketing works out well, especially on Facebook? How do you make that work? And these are the rules that I can come up with that from our experience with hundreds of practices work all the time. So I thought I'd just give you these. So this is one of the ones, this is one of the cautionary rules in the book that basically it explains what the problem is and what Facebook's doing and why they do what they do. And other social media platforms actually are similar to this. So get the idea. With Facebook or any social media platform, their entire business model depends on people going on there and having a good time, having a good experience, right? They need that person to stay on the platform and come back to it day after day, right? And Facebook has been really successful doing this. And because of that, they dominate the marketplace. That's how they've done it. And while they like money, they're not about to let us advertisers screw that up. They don't want to have us upsetting the people, right, who are on the platform. I mean, it's funny, Facebook is a free platform where they assemble all these people in for us advertisers to go and kind of, advertise these people, but they don't want us advertising in such a way that upsets the folks because that's a problem, right? So to make sure that things don't get out of hand, Facebook has rules for their advertising. So you can't advertise like, drugs or guns. And, there's things they say, okay, that's just too controversial. Don't advertise that. We know the problems they have with politics and things. They're trying to walk that line of how to be one way with politics and the other way. And I know everybody has their own opinion about Facebook. From my point of view, have seen them to be relatively reasonable about what they're trying to do. They have a very difficult job. They hire some of the wrong fact checkers sometimes. They get in trouble sometimes. But generally speaking, they're trying to run a business there, and they know their business is about keeping everybody coming back in and not being nuts, right? So to do this, Facebook cannot possibly police the thousands and actually millions of advertisers they have at any given moment. They have these automatic systems on there, and the automatic systems are programmed to look for certain patterns and to go and nuke that thing if they seize it, right? Think of it was it the thing in the body that goes around the T cell that goes around, looks for messed up viruses and just nukes it when it finds it? It's that. They have these things running all through the Facebook system, looking for things that are not per their policies, and they just nuke them, right? So these are things like you see someone do something dumb in an ad or some picture that's like a pornographic picture. They have ways of taking care of that stuff. And they publish the general rules and all of their rules section on advertising. It's all on there in their terms of service. Or you'd think they'd all be on there, but it's not really all on there. They have a lot of general statements. Don't be upsetting, blah, 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 right? Okay, and it turns out they have a lot of unpublished rules, and they have some unpublished rules for healthcare ads. Healthcare, because it is so personal to a person, it can actually freak someone out if the ads are too good. It can freak them out if they're too graphic. They can freak them out for all kinds of things. So they sort of have some unwritten rules for Facebook ads that are about healthcare, and that's you, right? So let me give you an idea on how they go about making sure that people don't feel like they had their privacy violated or that they've been overly, exposed to a bad ad or something like that, right? So give you an idea, you can't run an ad on Facebook as a healthcare professional which says, "Are you fat?" You have a fat weight loss program. You go, "Hey, are you fat?" Oh boy, that freaks people out. How do you know I'm fat? Facebook knows I'm fat. Why are you talking about this, right? So they have things about where they actually ban you from using the word "you" or a question mark. You can't use a question mark or the word "you" in your ads. And you say, no, John, you're lying to me because I've run ads that said, "Do you have sciatica?" and this, you, and that, and have a question at the end. And yes, I see you probably have. And I'm betting that ad campaign failed because Facebook a long time ago used when they found you breaking the rules, like a slight break of the rules like that, like the unwritten rules. They nuke you. They disallow your ads. You had to figure out what was wrong. You figure out, oh, yes, no, back, and we figure out what was wrong with that, right? Now they actually worked out. Someone got it and says, oh, what they do is they just jack the price up for that ad. The price of that ad goes through the roof, right? Like it's really expensive. And they figure if you're dumb enough to pay it, they'll take it. And they show it to fewer and fewer people and charge you more and more money until you get the idea. So they get paid while you learn, right? They get paid at your expense, right? So don't think that you can break these rules and it gets away with it, right? I mean, you can't have, okay, I'll give you an idea. So ads that look kind of spammy or have like the really big discounty sounding things and lots of dollar signs in it, those things will get kind of that treatment to them, right? By the way, these rules I'm telling you about that Facebook has extends to your landing page. They will click on your ad and go to your landing page when they're looking to approve it, and they'll check out what is on the page that you link to. If it doesn't match close enough, or if the page has a bunch of scammy, scummy stuff on it, they'll nuke your ad just the same, or do the jack up the price thing. That's kind of the choice, either nuke your ad or jack up the price, right? Unfortunately, now we saw those are healthcare ads, right? So that's for all kinds of healthcare. When it comes to holistic stuff, chiropractic, regenerative medicine, these kind of things, it gets even worse, okay? Facebook does tolerate healthcare ads, but they just tolerate them. They're not super enthusiastic. They're like, okay, just keep it clean and don't be nutty. Don't say you're going to get someone to, I mean, they don't begin, don't making claims. That's a big one, right? So when it comes to running your ads on Facebook as a chiropractor, you have to really be aware of these rules. And Facebook will nudge you and tell you you're doing it wrong by jacking up the price in your ads or by banning your ads. Too many banned ads will get your ad account suspended. Too much of that will actually get you banned from Facebook as an advertiser. So if they see your address being used in an ad, your website being used in an ad, your name being used in an ad, they'll just nuke your whole account sometimes, right? It's tough. It's tough. But anyway, here's some golden rules if you want to avoid a suspension, if you want to avoid an overall problem. Go ahead and read and study the rules. They do publish carefully. They're pretty clear about, you kind of read between the lines, and with what I told you about, they want people to have a good time. You can understand what their goal is, right? They're not trying to stop you from advertising. They're trying to stop you from pissing off their people, right? They want you to advertise because that's where the money comes from. All right. So you also want to stay away from the spammy headlines and spammy ad copy, like just don't be huckster style used car salesman stuff. When you see it, they do too. They've worked out what makes people upset about it, right? Overly salesy. You just talk about the solutions that you offer, or solutions problems that you help with. Don't make a bunch of claims, of course. I mean, that's always a good idea in marketing, not to make a bunch of health claims, and it applies everywhere, right? Don't use images that show people who are in pain. Don't, like, if you're doing a neck pain, don't have someone going, oh, right? That if you're someone scrolling through and you see someone going, they're going to have a bad time. If Facebook figures out that people are having a negative reaction to that picture, they'll jack up the price in your ad or ban it, right? Or ban you, depending on how bad it is, right? As I mentioned before, don't use the word you in the headlines. You can use it in the copy a little bit here and there, but even it's best if you avoid it altogether if you can. And don't use a question. Don't use a question mark. That's another giveaway that you're kind of prodding. So a healthcare ad that asks a question might be asking about a symptom, and people get freaked out by that, so they don't do it. So don't say, like, do you have neuropathy? Oh, no, don't do that. Just say help, but we handle neuropathy. Say we help neuropathy, people with neuropathy. You don't, so you can put it in kind of this other way over, like other people over there, not necessarily the person who's reading, okay? Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of how the whole thing works when it comes to keeping your ads from getting banned. Now, as I mentioned, what I just told you came from my book, 16 Rules for Facebook Marketing Success for Chiropractors. And basically I cover a whole bunch of other topics in that book. I have a way for you to get a copy of that book for free right now. We've got an electronic copy. It's about 20 pages long, this book, and it's an executive summary kind of. It gives you an overview of the entire picture of what it takes to run a successful Facebook marketing company, Facebook marketing campaign for your business, right, for your company. So the idea is that you can take this and it sort of gives you the parameters. It's not every nitty-bitty detail, but it's all the big stuff you have to know, just like what I just told you just now. So hopefully you find that useful, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye.